guys, welcome back to our channel. This is the Veteran and Pinay Life. For today's video, we're gonna talk about things to consider if you are planning to build a house in the Philippines. However, before we go to that topic, let me just give you an update. So here in Northern California, there's this wildfire that's happening right now in different area. In Sonoma County, Solano County, where we at, Santa Cruz and San Jose. Last week, our area is in a warning zone, so we packed some of our belongings just to be ready if we need to be evacuated. Thankfully, we did not go to that point, so we just want to give an update that we're okay, we're doing good. Thank you to our fellow blogger Casatech, Pina, George, and Emmy for sending email asking how are we doing, and also to our subscriber Doris and Ernie for sending messages just to make sure that we're doing good. Thank you so much, guys. Now, for our topic today, we mentioned before that we will be building our house in the Philippines. So we started watching building houses of some other blogger, and we've learned a lot of things that we want to share, so it will be useful to other people as well that will be building house in the future.
As well as maybe it'll inspire some thought from the viewers out there and our subscribers to say, hey, what about this? What about that? As in anything, I think you can't think of everything, but we're trying to. So
yeah.
And we're doing a lot of prep because next year it's going to come around quick.
So one thing that you need to consider is the weather. The weather in the Philippines, we only have two seasons, the rainy season and the summer season. And weather is a big factor that will impact building your house.
We see some of the vloggers now that are building right now going through the frustration with the rainy season. So that's some of the things that we got to consider. We also took in consideration that during the rainy season, the prices of building materials go significantly lower, they're cheaper, and vice the summer when everybody's building. So it's supply and demand, macroeconomics, but that's one of the things we looked at. Another thing that we looked at was the skill sets of your local talent pool, the people that you're pulling in to work on, that your contractor pulls in. And some of those guys are used to doing ways, building practices a certain way, and you may not be able to really adjust to that. Well, you have to adjust to it, but I mean, you're not really comfy with it. So one of my pet peeves is when you lay brick and lay block, it's straight. You should look at it like it's a solid brick block, not put together like Legos, pieces of a puzzle pie. But they plaster the hell out of it, and that's something you either got to live with it, or you got to talk to your contractor and say, hey, we're going to have to get a little more detail and discipline on the laying brick. Just look at some of the videos on how they lay brick here in the U.S. in comparisons to the way they lay brick in the Philippines, and you'll be shocked at the way
totally different.
It's totally different. So that's some of the things you got to look at. Is they predominantly use block and concrete over there, and in California you use predominantly all wood. So there's a difference in there, and it's also basically because of the storms they face. We have fires and they have typhoons, and in Florida in the south over there they build block too as well. So that's because they got hurricanes running all over the place. We did something different. As our builder, our architect engineer rather, Ashley the engineer, he has a contractor business building homes too. And what's good about that particular builder is he's the engineer, excuse me, and he's got a well diverse background in building.
Yeah. And
what I mean by that is he's built in several different parts of the world and geographically. He's built here in Manila, in the Makati areas. He's responsible for some major buildings there. He's moved to Guam. His contracting, his firm is detailed in the Guam, and he's done some buildings on Guam. And now he's out of Massachusetts on the East Coast, and they're building stuff over there on the East Coast. So he's seeing different ways of building things. He's also looking at what the talent pool is and the way to do things. I mean, they lay brick in New York a lot different than they lay brick in Makati. So those are some of the things.
Our concern.
Right, and so he understands my concern is, my pet peeve is when you look at a block a brick wall, you should see blocks that are meticulously put in place like a Lego piece, not just patched in and then plastered over. So, I mean, those are some of the things you're going to have to adjust to. The rainy season was a big thing because nobody wants to build in the rain, and I can see the frustration of the guys they're building their foundation and it's flooding out with water because the rain pools are coming. That's just something you're going to have to take and accept if you're building in the rain. If you build in the summer, then you're going to have to extend, your prices will go up just because the building materials go up. So you're going to catch-22 because you can be really affected on your cost factors and the building delays by building in the rainy season, or you can go towards the summer season where it's good weather most of the time, but your prices of building materials is really significantly higher. So I don't know which way is worse. So that's something you'll have to take in consideration. And we have, because we're going to build in November.
Yeah, November. Usually August, September, that's the bad month. It's really rainy, so hopefully.
But you know, again, you could have a bad season. One year you might have real light rainy season, and the following year you got monsoon rains coming in.
Yeah,
so
it's totally
it's
different.
just the luck of the draw. And I'm not good at the California lotto, so I don't know how that's going to work. So, but those one of the things we're looking at. The skill set is a big thing. The way they do things at a certain particular part of the country in comparison to what region you're in. It could be they build different in Makati in comparison to what they do in Lipa. They build different in Lipa in comparison to what they do in Mindanao. But they build something totally different, and the practices of building is totally different from the West Coast to the East Coast, same way. So those some of the considerations you're going to have to take, and that we took that into consideration. So I think we feel lucky that we got the engineer and who happens to have his contracting business. It's a little bit different, and he'll be brand new. And the Tierra Maria, whatever they call it.
Tierra Maria.
But it's a righteous spot, and that's where we're going to call home. And so we're going to build our house there. Yeah. But you know what? I tell you what, you just keep watching people that are building their houses now, and you see what they're doing. I watched George from Casa Tex, and he had some insulation period material brought in. Yeah. And I didn't even think about that because, I'm going to an area where there's no snow. And I'd say, well, insulation material, but you do need to insulate it.
Because it's too hot.
Because it's hot, and you need to maintain your coolness in the house and keep the heat outside. So that was a big plus, and I'd like to thank George for that because that's something I learned. I also learned from another guy who's building a foundation in the rain and what he's going through, so I learned some of the things on that. In comparison, when I compare a contractor, I'm not going to compare a contractor from his other works. I'm going to look at another contractor and see if he's building it the same way, he's doing it different, he's got a different technique. He may have a better way of doing it than the contractor you're looking at right now. So yes, you look at your contractor and other houses and work he's done, but I wouldn't make that as a consideration where I'm going to factor it in. I'm going to factor in what I see another contractor doing and say, hey, my contractor's doing it right, doing it the way I like him, the way he's building, or two, I like the way that contractor's doing it, and we need to get on board with that one. But then again, that's just me, and I'm just anal about that part. But in all in all, if you got any suggestions out there, shoot them our way. We could definitely use it. We haven't even covered about our shipping container move. That's going to be a big one. Yeah. And it's promising to be a good one. So, of course, my wife here keep me on the ball, keep me in check. So we're good to go. So y'all stay safe out there. This is just a short blurb. We had to get a video out, and we're doing good. We were on the borderline of being evacuated, and me being ex-military, I had my bingo bags all packed, all my ammunition ready to go. I mean, when you time the bug and you got a bingo out, it's not the time to start thinking about what things you got to get. You should have it all packed, but big time. Anyway, you have a blessed evening.
Subscribe.
And keep safe and subscribe. And what's that little bell stuff they say? I'm new at this YouTube stuff, and I'm really not
Please hit the bell button so you will be notified every time we have a new video.
No, I see George. He goes like ding here and you pick here and give us a thumbs up.
Subscribe because he put his logo on this side. Subscribe.
And I've heard one subscriber, one YouTuber goes, it's always your decision. It's either up or down, but whatever you do, just give us a thumb.
So. Anyway, thank you so much.
Aloha.